It's a beautiful July summer day in Scotland. Now, often we get to say that. YouTube, like most modern technology, gives us the chance to say anything we like in a worldwide way, publicly, privately, whatever. It's an incredible opportunity. But you know that, you see. I don't want to be this old gimp repeating the same old stuff. I wish I could say something funny like Osho or Muji, but not fully back to human state yet. It's best not to talk like a human. That's what I've learned. It's best not to talk. It's best to listen. So I get the opportunity with an electronic device to talk and listen at myself or whatever is coming through to speak these words. Something said, "You've never promoted yourself as a teacher, Graham." That's the voice. And that's okay, because there are countless teachers out there. But if you was to give a teaching, what would you give? A non-human teaching. A totally against the grain of what we have learned to live our life by would be the teaching. We're haunted by past and we're frightened of future. Hence why all talk is about nuclear war, sun burning up the planet, environmental problems, massive illness. So nothing changes, yeah? So why worry about a future that may not never come? Because future is just another idea, another concept. Sorry. Time, a man-made construct to try and organize and plan and fulfill our day. Man has made nothing godly, even temples. They're just designs, creativity, art. Incredible. Coming from an artist, we cannot deny our temples are gospels and whatever it is, but they're not godly. We don't portray godliness because we wouldn't even make an effort to come onto a device and speak publicly. We wouldn't make an effort to speak because everything would be perfect. We wouldn't have to communicate because everything would be at our feet, in hand's reach. And that's the way we were put here, with everything at our reach. We may have had to walk to find some food. But now, we're not happy with anything unless we find another planet. Unless we find the perfect relationship. Unless we find the enlightened state. We're not a very happy breed when we seek for things that are not plausible. I stumbled upon enlightenment. Something was looking for me. I wasn't looking for anything out of the ordinary, out of the material world. But something had to take ownership of this body to portray whatever it is that is being spoken. I've no idea. I've no interest in my videos. I've no interest in life. Meaning, I've no interest in the mind that portrays a particular quality to life. Life is immaculate as it is. Even when the illness comes, even when the hangover comes, even when the next day you don't want to go to work comes, something inside says, what's the problem? Is there a problem here? Is there a real problem? Our mind will portray and magnify many problems. So that's the teaching I want to offer before I stop speaking as an ego-driven old fool. The teaching is mind will offer many problems, many thoughts. And you don't think half of them are problems. But they twist and they change and they come up and they say, yes, it's a problem. Your mind may speak when you look in the mirror, oh, I'm getting fat. And you may look at your body and say, well, that's not a problem. And then a job comes up. And you can't get the job because one of the reasons was you were overweight. No, it's a problem. You wanted that job. You see? There's no consistency in goodness. No consistency in badness. So what is it teaching? Let the mind speak. Let your mind speak to you. When you try and watch the thoughts, and you say, whoa, that was an interesting thought. The thought that saw that it was an interesting thought was also a thought. It's called emptiness, and Buddha speaks about it. To empty your mind means you don't think. You don't think about a single thing. How can you do it when the mind is giving you problem after problem after problem after problem after problem after problem after problem? Love the problems. Don't associate with the problems. Don't look at the words and see what they mean. I am fat is just a sound. A sound to the enlightened seeker. You are an absolute disgrace to humanity. A sound. No problem. You are a son of God. No problem. No problem. Not that. Not this. The most incredible moment of awakening is the space between the thoughts, the space between the breaths. But you don't want to explore breaths, that's yoga. If you don't want to enroll into classes and do all that stuff and become that yogic disciple, where the breath is what it's about. We can do it on your own, with no breath, or limited breath. There you go, I said something funny. There's a space. There is a space. It's not an imagined conceptual idea. You experience it in deep sleep, a great massive space. In our time world we say a 7-hour space. But I went to sleep at 10 o'clock and woke up at 5. Not a thought, not a dream, nothing passed my mind, my body. That's the space you're looking for. They say to be awake is to be fully awake. but you're already awake. Your body is communicating. Your body is in that after sleep state. You're eating your breakfast, you're awake. Now, the idea is to put yourself to sleep, you see. Awakening is to go to sleep. It's to go to sleep to the world of thoughts. It's to hibernate. Find a space. Wait for problem to after problem, after thought, after thought, after problem, after problem, after thought, to let them come. Smile when they come. You're an old fool. Yeah, thank you. I'm gone. You're wasting my time. Thank you, gone. And in the gone, and the recognition of gone, don't try and stop the gone. Let the gone gone. And in that space, you'll find that the thoughts stop coming, or they come slower, or they try and trick you. Oh, a massive space. I found it. Phone rings. Shit. It's not an easy. People say it's easy. Enlightenment is easy. Yes, once you are there, you realize how stupid and how foolish you were to think that you could not find the truth of what you are. Because it's like a snap of the fingers. But that snap of the fingers is like one moment to God. Years and years of practice. So there is a practice to become awakened into sleep. And for sleep to allow itself to progress throughout the day. But the body will still operate. There's still a constructive mind, still a sensible mind, a core mind that keeps you from walking off the end of a cliff. That's the teaching. Look for the space. And when the space comes and you fall, it's like, remember that moment we've all had when we're at work or we're driving behind a car sometimes, or whatever. Your eyes suddenly fall asleep. And you wake yourself up. Something wakes you up. And don't be woken. That's why it's safe to lie in your bed, like Ramana Maharshi, like this speaker. It's safe to lie in your bed, because when that space comes and you fall into that abyss, into that void, into that emptiness, into that pot of love, there's nothing that can harm your body. Everything falls through the bed, through the floor, through the planet, through the earth, into the center of life, into the core being, where you originate from. So let everything collapse. Gangaji says, when the story is annihilated, when the person, the history, the mind of identities, attachments, associations, needs, beliefs, and desires is annihilated in that moment, you land in that moment. That moment is paradisial. That moment is beyond time. That moment is the purest of tranquil consciousness. You don't want to get out of that moment. But that moment itself lifts you up and puts you back in the bed. And you have the wisdom of life that you don't share. I'm a selfish old fool. I'm not going to tell you the real truth. Why? I know the journey was immaculately profoundly beautiful and loving. I want you to experience the same. That's a teaching. Not humorous, no information, no cost, no gains, no attainments, no losses. 15, possibly 16 minutes of nothing, of a space that is immortal and endless. It's unlimited. But the mind will not speak on its behalf. It's not capable. Because this that you experience shuts mind down. Author becomes authoritarian on your life. So it controls the thoughts. It says, no, this one's done it. You dare come with these thoughts again, and you will be gone for good, Mr. Ego. That's God. That's the spirit that remains intact within. Still holding this one up. 16 and a half. I have to go. I has to go. Wow. That's the best teaching. This I that you announce yourself as, has to go. It has to be seen through. You have to swim out of this net of I into the freedom of the ocean of love. That's heaven. Here now. Awareness, presence, alive and kicking. As me. The new me. The new I. The new am. Not willing to speak egoistically about life, politics, and all that bullshit. Atheism, religion, spirituality, environments, planets, all ideas, all concepts, to keep you in that pot, in that net. Swim freely, that's what I say. Look for the space, dive in, and swim onwards into the tube, into the hologram, into the black hole, into God's bosom. Can you hear the silence? Get used to it, because I'm gone.